Alright, so I'm going to start this by saying I don't own any Genlock, Ruby, or Rooster Teeth images, videos, or rights to any of the stuff. I don't own any of the rights. If you want to go support Rooster Teeth, go support Rooster Teeth. This is solely a review on what I think. I'm hoping that I can use some clips, and if I can't, then I'll just re-edit the video. But, yeah. So, Genlock episode 3 and 4. Now, if you haven't seen those yet, I recommend watching them first. I don't want you just to, see me review it. This is a spoiler review, obviously, but yeah, I recommend go watching it. They're great episodes. Now, episode 3 is a little slow, but it ties in more with, how the mech functions. The sole purpose of this episode is just to let characters goof off, let them do their own thing. Yeah, so there's a lot of fun moments in the episode, and they kind of tell you how the technology works, how, what you should be doing. They're a little nervous about, how the technology works, actually, because in episode 2, the imposter Sinclair died while being in the thing, and the doctor tells him, as long as you're compatible, you're fine, but if you're not, you might as well be putting your brain in a toaster. And it's pretty funny. But there's some conflicts with characters about who used to be in the Union, ideals, some stuff. Like Valentina wants to quit and she wants to go own a bar. But, Chase tells her, you're going to regret that, because when the Union attacks, wherever you're posted at within this bar, you're going to think to yourself, I could have stopped this. I could have done something to change this. And I did. And she starts, reconsidering and thinking, maybe I'll stick around for a little bit longer. So there is some character conflict between Madrani and Valentina. Madrani and Valentina get in a little argument about the Union, and Valentina, earlier, talks about how she's been fighting, this fight for a long time. But, Madrani, fires back, and they start arguing about, what they've done, what the Union has done, and Madrani talks about how the Union isn't her Union. So that might tie into something kind of like how in Ruby the White Fang used to be a good, sort of religious group in a way, but now it's this whole bad thing. But yeah, it just kind of builds on the character a little bit. And it's actually a great conversation, that they see him having, because it seems like they have, they are very emotional about it. So Ida and McLeod, you learn that their real names are Cammy and Kazu, and they have a really cute moment. After Ida talks about how his name is Kazu, McLeod just laughs and was like, "Oh, I never met a man who is named Kazu," and he's like, "No, it's Kazu," and it's just really cute. They have a really cute relationship, and I like it. And hopefully they'll let me play the clip, but here it is.
Yeah, Kazu de easy.
What? I just never met anyone named after a kazoo is all.
Kazu.
That's what I said.
They also have another cute moment where they're talking about who's gonna be in the mech, who's gonna do this, and it's also really funny because when she's in the mech, she talks about how oh, Kazu, you can have my manga collection if I die, and she's just surprised by his answer. I'll see if I can play the clip again.
If I wink out, you can have my manga collection.
Now, there is a funny bit with Chase. He's playing basketball with his buddy, and his buddy mentions that he's using aimbot, and Chase is like, I don't know what you're talking about. But they do try to tie in the drama of Chase and his ex, girlfriend. And it seems like his ex-girlfriend is dating this guy. I forgot his name. I forgot both their names. I only remember one of them, and his name is Leon. Great character. But they seem like it seems like they're really trying to push for this drama, but in the way where it's like natural. Like a lot of stories like to kind of force it onto you, but this is part of Chase's life. As a main character, he sees these things with his, new robotic abilities, because, in the mech suit, he zooms in, enhances, and he can hear the conversation. And it's kind of hard watching this because it's been 40 years, but for Chase, he's been working toward meeting her again. And it's just a natural way of life. Someone moves on, it's all that. And it kind of just makes you feel for Chase even more. And that's what I like about the writing for this. It's just it actually makes you feel for the characters. Mech design wise, I'm not a big fan of how they looked when they had the armor and how bulky they were. But this right here, the skeletal design, I'm actually really into it. I really like the skeletal design. It has a human anatomy to it, and it's just a really nice design in my opinion. But yeah, after McLeod is in the mech and they see that she's actually physically controlling it, Valentina and Ida are just like, fuck yeah, let me in this mech. Now, for the rest of the episode, it was really just them goofing off. That's all it was. It was just them playing around. It was just them having fun, learning how to move in their new bodies. And I like the way that they talk about it. It's it's an actual body that you're using. And it's just great. I mean, they move around a lot. They play tag. They goof off, and it's just a fun episode. Now, Leon right here, he's already a great character in my opinion. He's a very serious leader, but he's also kind of a chill dude. You do learn that in episode 4 that he was compatible to be a Genlock pilot. And just because he was a little too old, he wasn't able to be the next pilot, but they still say that it's a possibility for him to be a pilot. They say they just don't want him to die. They say it's too much of a risk, and they don't want to risk him dying. And I like the fact that they're taking in risk as in as a factor. After they're done playing around, Leon and his little team play capture the flag, and this is meant for them to basically coordinate and learn, work as a team. But individually, they were really bad, and even as a team, they didn't do very much. So they're not to the point where they can work as a team yet. And you see this in the episode after they lose battle after battle after battle. And it's just one of those things where they got a team build. And it's gonna happen later in the series, and I think it's gonna be great. Now the cast is already really fun, and it's pretty funny. Chase, he's pretty calm, he's pretty serious, but he also has motives. He wants to protect, his family, he wants to live. Madrani, I'm not sure what her motives are, but I do want to see them build on her character. Valentina, I also want to see them build on. I want to see them build on every character in here, especially Ida, McLeod, all that. Mainly McLeod, because McLeod, they built on her as a character personality, but they don't give you anything on who she is as a person. And as for Ida, it's he's a tough guy. He tries to act tough, and remember when I say try, but I think it's more he would rather put himself at risk than to put anybody else at risk. Now Ida and McLeod, I ship it. I absolutely fucking ship it. Why do I ship it? Because it's cute, alright? I don't think this ship is going to happen, but I ship it. Now, in this sequence of episode 4, it's all about training for the first half. And they eat the normal food that was given to them by, the base. And, none of them like it. So Ida cooks for himself. And, they're all a little jealous. And McCloud is looking at her food down very sadly because, she's tired of eating the food. And Ida gives her, like, an egg. And it's just cute. It's just a cute moment. And I'm just like, oh my god, Ida's a dad. like, oh my god, I ship it. Ida is like the dad of the group, I'll be honest. Now, this scene was interesting because in like the mid part of the episode, it is their day off, and this is called the Ether. Ether is an online network where it's all virtual reality. And you can see that each character has a different kind of trait about them. Like Ida, he wants to be a tough guy. Madrani, she kind of goes back to how she used to look. And I honestly love her with long hair. Like, my god, her character design, amazing. Well, not amazing, but I just really, really like the way she looks like this. And McCloud is obviously a little rabbit thing, and it's adorable. Want to pinch his cheeks. And now you're wondering where Valentina is. Valentina is actually the dude right there. So Valentina here is a male. And she plays a male in the virtual reality, and she explains why. Like, it's not unnatural for people to play, like, female characters if you're a male, or a male character if you're female. But she has a reason to play a male character. Valentina was, I guess you could say she is a male trapped in a female's body. But it's also part of the gender fluid thing. And she changes it from time to time. It's every so often, basically. It's not frequent, but it's like every other, maybe couple years. And she talks about it how, that's just who she is. And I like how they kind of did this for the writing. Like, a lot of stories kind of just put it up in your face. They give you a reason for why Valentina is like this. And honestly, I don't mind it at all. Like, I still like Valentina. Valentina's a great character, in my opinion. And, I guess Rooster Teeth is trying to be more diverse or whatever, quotation marks. But to me, it's just them kind of portraying it in the right light. And, Valentina isn't ashamed of, who he or she is. And, she's done it multiple times. She's changed genders multiple times. But yeah, I like the way that they kind of portrayed this, because a lot of media just has a gay character to be gay or a lesbian character to be lesbian. It's just Valentina doesn't give a fuck, alright? Like, it's interesting because they were a little more subtle about it. And I like it. Because, granted, they do tell you why she's doing it. They're not really, like, forcing it onto you. It's more like, it's part of who the character is. They do it early on, and they don't wait until later. I hate it when a show waits, like, maybe 2 years to reveal a character is gay. Or, like how Ruby was doing the Bumblebee thing, where it's like, hey, we have Black Sun. And Black Sun is a great written ship. They're really subtle about the relationship. And then when it gets to Bumblebee, it's just like, we're going to force it down your fucking throat every chance we get. I did not like that at all. But yeah, Valentina's, this is how Valentina is. This is part of her character. I'm going to say she because that's how I, go for it. But that's part of her character. That's who she is. And that's what I like about it. They stated early on. And I know I said that earlier, but it's just a great way of writing it. Don't wait for a long time. It's stupid. They do, I think they're trying to hint that Ida might be gay because of this little moment right here. He asked, like, if Valentina was a boy or a girl when she was born. And, she walks up and says, "You'll never know." And, he kind of just smiles about it. And I'm like, okay, I think Ida might be gay. I don't know. It's a little hint, but I don't think he is. It's more like he just respects the way Valentina is. But even if he was gay, I wouldn't matter. It's his character, Just don't wait a whole year to reveal a gay character. This is how you should write a character. Well, not how you should, but it's like, this is very close to how you should write a character. Like, it's just a good portrayal of an LGBTQ community. Now, they do give a little Easter eggs in this episode, and I think this one was either supposed to be Mass Effect or maybe Halo. I think it was a Halo thing. But this was really adorable right here because, they all get into Ruby outfits. And it's pretty funny. Like, each expression on their face, like, Madrani is just like, huh, I kind of like it. Ida, he's just kind of confused of why he's shirtless. Chase doesn't know what the fuck he's wearing. And I'm not really sure what Valentina's thinking. But McCloud as a tiny Ruby character looking like that is adorable. So soon after all the ether stuff, they get to a mission and they have to fight this fucking thing. And holy fucking shit, this fight. I'm not going to spoil a lot of it, but I recommend you skip maybe 20 seconds ahead. But this fucking thing is a monster, dude. He just beat the shit out of most of them. And oh my god, what he did to McCloud. He ripped off her mech's head, and the scream that she lets out, it's so horrific. I hope I can play this clip, but here it is. It was just so, oh my god, dude. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about the episode. But I'm not trying to spoil too much about the episode. I just want to talk about the characters and what was going on. And that's all I'm gonna say about the episode. So I highly recommend go watching these two episodes because holy fucking shit. All right, see ya.